Hey folks, Jeff here. Here is the sort of sad state of my garage arcade these days. I actually, believe it or not, I just got done clearing a ton of stuff out of the front of these games. They were kind of buried in just garage junk and stuff that I have accumulated. But here's where the games are, and actually even some spare parts that I have on these shelves here. I have not had these games turned on in well over 2 years now. We've been through the whole pandemic. I've had a couple job changes, lots going on. The lineup has changed since the last time I did a video. I've got, what do I have here? I have 8 cabinets now around the edge of my garage. I still have a Star Wars, a Quantum, Pac-Man that has a 60-in-1 in it, a custom, I call it the Triple Punch, which is Punch Out, Super Punch Out, and Arm Wrestling, a Tron, a Pole Position, a Street Fighter 2 Turbo that has one of the multi-boards in it, and then of course my first and favorite game, 720. The games have not been turned on in like 2.5 years, and they're actually not even plugged in right now, which I'm going to do. But I want to fire them up and see what happens. And best case scenario is they all work, and worst case is that, I don't know, you get the puff of smoke and of doom, and then you have some work to do. But let me clear the rest of this stuff out, and I'm going to get started. But yeah, I feel bad that these games have been so neglected. I got to get some Windex going here because stuff is a mess. But we're going to see if these work, and then I'll go from there. All right, so everything is connected now, I believe. I had one set of games connected to this power strip here that's on one circuit, which is separate from a separate circuit that's connected to this power strip here. I think all the games should be connected to that. So, you know, these games are pretty resilient, and I had them all pretty well set up originally. So let's see how we do. 1, 2, 3, go. So that's pretty good. That should be this half of the games. Star Wars, Quantum. All right, that's good news because the 2 games that have an Ampliphone vector monitor all came up and are looking good. So yeah, there you go. These games are pretty resilient. They tend to work. They've been in the garage. I live in San Diego, so there's not a lot of weather or anything that we're up against. So looking good on this half. That's great. And let's try these 4. And I used to have the games, I used to have 10 around here, so it was more critical to have them divided. And the 2 that are missing, I had a Discs of Tron in here, and I had a Smash TV that I had over here, and 2 wonderful games, but I just wasn't playing them much, and I needed a little more space in the garage, so that's what we did. Okay, group 2. Good sound. Here's 720. Fire up. You know, my pole position was starting up with issues, but that started right up, which is wonderful. Pole position, the original racing game, if you ask me, and probably still the best. Tron, and there's some trouble. So that's what I was hoping to not see. This monitor looked a little hosed in here, and a little bit of a roll there that some of the folks in the hobby would know much better than me how to fix. I'm guessing I could mess with some of the pots in the back and get that to be fixed. Or this may have been happening to me before and could probably might even work itself out over time, which is not the best way to fix these. But no high scores saved. I used to have high scores saved in here, but for the most part, pretty good, except of course my favorite game just not quite working. But I mean, it works, it just needs some work on the monitor. So this is good. I gotta put the original Hyper Fighting board back in here. This is lame to have this thing. It's nice that you can play so many different games, but it's actually cool to have the real Street Fighter board in there. Pole position, I want to play some pole position. This is a wonderful game. Tron, looking good. Really proud of my Triple Punch Out. This has 3 boards in it to play Punch Out, Super Punch Out, and Arm Wrestling. 2 of the 3 of those are super rare Nintendo arcade games, and Arm Wrestling was their last arcade game, and pretty cool they all fit in there. Pac-Man with the 60-in-1 looking good, and of course Quantum and Star Wars.
Good fraud standing by.
Like a charm. Cool. Well, hey, good report. These games, they're pretty resilient. Probably 2.5 at least years. I might have turned on the 720, not last year, but the year before on July 20th, which is when I like to play a game, and it probably was the last time these games were on. But there you go. That's the 720 Zone Arcade back in action. I'm going to get this place cleaned up and hopefully get the games going again.